I left the US, and this little packet is why I would do it again. Whenever I mention that I left the US, I get the same five comments every single time. The first one is that the US offers individual and economic freedoms and opportunities that are hard to get in other places. And they also point out that the system does have flaws. Despite that, it still allows for self determination, business growth, and the ability to protest. Another one that I get is sure, healthcare costs in the US are higher, but it's top quality and doesn't have long wait times. I also get a lot of comments from people who feel that it would be hard to move abroad because of family commitments or because they don't have a support group of friends or relatives abroad. And that makes moving abroad feel really isolating or just plain impossible for them. And we can't forget this one. The one that says being an expat is arrogant and classist, and that staying and being an American in America is more honest than moving abroad. And lastly, we have moving abroad is escaping from what's going on. And by leaving, I've removed my contribution from the effort to make a change and to improve American society from within. That's pretty much the gist of what I've been told as to why I shouldn't have left. And all of these points that I mentioned are definitely reasons not to leave. They kind of focus on what there is to lose or guilt, maybe regrets, obligations, a fear of change, but I haven't been able to find anything that says why I should have stayed. And I get it that not everybody can leave. For some people, moving abroad is really just a pipe dream. And there are so many people who are struggling just to buy food. And how are they supposed to move to another country? That little packet inspired this video. This whole idea started with one doctor's appointment. And later that day, when I got home, I opened the YouTube app and Leisha Miller's video, Why I Left the US, was in my suggestions. And that made me think a little bit about why I left. And I've been gone for almost 4 years now. And when I left, I made the choice for my family with my family. In 2022, my husband was still dealing with long COVID symptoms, and they made returning to his job, a job that required his intense attention to detail, absolutely impossible. And by that time, my 5 hour daily commute burned me out. I'd also learned that environments built on move fast and break things would trigger my heart condition. And with my education and my experience, finding a job with a fair wage in an environment whose foundation wasn't toxic was absolutely impossible. So why stay? We packed up our house, we gave away what we could, we shipped what we couldn't bear to part with, and we left the US back then. And I don't think those reasons would apply right now. My husband has long recovered from the effects of COVID, and I've learned to manage my heart condition. So why would I make the same choice and leave the US today? A couple of weeks ago, my local clinic reached out to me and told me it's time. It's time to screen for colon cancer. And during my appointment, I received my sample kit. It reminded me, a person of average risk, that the first line of screening in the States was a full day's flushing of my system, followed by a long nap the next day while a doctor put a camera up my butt. As a person with average risk, why do we start with a procedure that requires anesthesia? And don't get me wrong, I do love a good nap, but I feel like there's a step being skipped here. Mind you, I'm not a fan of taking these stool samples. It's wild to me. And I'm grateful that my fiber intake is on a level that I don't have to refrigerate my sample before my appointment. But this article from gastroendonews.com says gastroenterologists are overusing colonoscopy and not following our organization's guidelines. Gastroenterologists really need to be more careful to adhere to guidelines of screening and surveillance. The AGA guidelines recommend colonoscopy screening for colorectal cancer once every 10 years, beginning at age 50 in healthy, asymptomatic individuals, and earlier for individuals with a family history of colon cancer or other notable risk factors. Even if a stool sample isn't the preferred screening method, there are CT colonoscopies where they take a CAT scan And you still have to do the prep, and this one does come with an enema, but you don't have to go under anesthesia. They still put a tube up there, but it doesn't go as far up, and they just have to blow a little air in there too. But the thing is, it happens to cost a third of the price of the traditional method. So even if you have to screen twice as frequently as with a traditional colonoscopy, it's still cheaper. Why would I want to stay a part of a system meant to extract my money so that I can keep my health? I'd rather wait in a system designed to help those with urgent needs first rather than waiting for the help I'd need just to afford basic care. Because let's be real, the kind of job I was looking for is impossible to find right now. I mean, I did start this channel. I guess I could have done that there. Maybe I could stop turning down opportunities that pay really well for ad placements, even if they don't align with what I'm teaching here. I think I'll have to search YouTube for what the kids are saying about the best way to get rich these days. I think it's Polymarket. Gone are the days of drop shipping and courses. Even if I couldn't fast track my way to the country I live in now, I would still leave, even if I didn't know anyone there, because I recognized that I'd pulled so hard at the laces of my boots that they actually broke. And wherever I choose to immigrate, I would learn to be a part of the culture while sharing my culture. And because I'm not an NPC, I'd continue to contribute to changing the US, but from the outside. Stacey Abrams put together 10 steps and lays out the 10 steps to government by one person with absolute power. In my opinion, we have hit all 10 steps. The website even gives us steps to freedom and power. While I'm able to take all of the action steps from here, I don't think many people can take all of those action steps, if we're going to be honest. And frankly, I can fight for change in the States from the outside. And that way I won't have to struggle with being called lazy and a DEI hire. And I won't have to worry about being shot for buying diapers while billionaires get away with stealing my taxes. Even if I were in the States, you wouldn't see me at protests. I'd be doing exactly what I'm doing right now abroad. Economic blackout is the most powerful tool that we have. For you, that may look different from what I do. One of the most important steps that I took was removing cloud storage from my life. Not only was I renting storage, but I was contributing to growing data centers. Even beyond that, I've paid thousands for my devices, and I'll be damned if I'm going to rent storage on top of that. So I got a NAS, and that's why I'm proud to tell you about Ugreen. What having a NAS did for me was get rid of the need of having a cloud storage subscription. That was $9.99 a month that I don't know how long I had been paying, but it's gone. I can still connect my devices anywhere, and it's secure and it's really easy to use. And I want you to tell me what changes that you've made to help make that change that we're all looking for. And remember to subscribe and select all notifications so you can see what I have coming up next. Okay, bye.